Hello, hello. You ready, Dee Dee? She is awake today. What's good, everybody? My name is Alex, and welcome to Higa's Playbook, a show that talks about sports, dating, and all things life as a Seattle girl living in the Bay. Now, if you have not already, please like, comment, subscribe, share to my channel so that you can keep following what's going on. All right, y'all, we just had a crazy sports-packed weekend. So we won't just talk about football. Today, we're going to talk about my weekend because I know that you really care. So I started out Friday flying out to Vegas to see F1, Formula One. You're like, Alex, are you a Formula One fan? Now I am. Now I am. It was so insane. First of all, the way that they structured it in Vegas and the track was on the strip and around, they don't just turn left. They have right turns in Formula One. So it's not like NASCAR where they just go left around a track. They go around and rights and lefts and straight. It's insane. And so I learned a lot. I learned a lot about F1. I learned about going to a Formula One race. Plan your hotel close to the zone you have to sit in. Otherwise, you're going to be walking for an hour and a half each way. Because it's such a big event, you really can't count on the staff to really know and direct you in the right direction. So that was just my learning tip from the weekend. But I can't complain. I'm super grateful that I got to experience it. So Friday was a qualifying. I didn't really know what it meant for qualifying. I mean, typically if you go to some sort of like big event or big matchup, there's a qualifying to qualify to go into the next day, right? For the finals. So that's kind of what I thought it was. So there was 20 drivers. The 20, like apparently they drive certain amount of laps, certain amount of time. The top 15 make it to the next one. Then the top 10 make it to the next one. This whole time I'm watching this, I thought that they got eliminated from the final day. So when Lewis Hamilton got 11th and it didn't make the top 10, my girlfriend and I were like, holy shit. The person that we're trying to watch win is not even racing in the final day, but that wasn't even the case. But we literally thought he wasn't racing until the actual race day. So literally like 10 minutes, our friends that were like, no, he's still racing. And we're like, oh, so I'm still learning. I still don't get it, but I'm still learning. So Friday was a whole day. There was all these events going on. I was in the T-Mobile zone. Shout out to T-Mobile. It was wild. They had Major Lazer perform. The amount of times they told us to jump was insane. My friend and I were already tired from walking like 5 miles to get to our zone, but it was so much fun. Just the energy. Was there as many people there as I thought there was going to be? No. Prices were insane. I heard that, I mean, from experience too, we booked our hotel, but then we rebooked it because a week before going, they lowered the prices. So I think they jacked the prices up for a lot of this weekend, but then they ended up dropping the prices because they realized people were not booking because it was so damn expensive. And so, yes. But then Saturday came along. We slept in because the qualifying wasn't even until midnight. So we didn't even get back till 2:30, 3 o'clock. So we slept in until about 9:30, 10, woke up, had breakfast, and then we wanted to catch some football. So we watched the UW Oregon State game. Shout out to the dogs. And then we made our way. We watched J Balvin. So good. All the dancers for these performers were incredible. And I think whenever I go to concerts, yes, I love the artist that's actually performing, but I'm always watching the dancers. So we watched him perform, and then the final started at 10 p.m. 50 laps. I timed actually one of the laps, and I think the average time per lap was like a minute 37. I think the fastest time for the lap was 1:35 or 1:34. So they're going really fast. The average speed is about over 200 miles an hour, which is crazy because when you think about it too, how much muscle endurance they have to hold on to the steering wheel to keep this car that's going hella fast go in a straight line or even like make a little turn is insane. So I have a lot of respect for these drivers. The amount of force that their body goes through while driving these cars is I can't even imagine what it's like. But it was really cool. The camera views as they were going around the turns, they would get literally millimeters close to the walls, and some of them would even like skim the walls. There were a couple crashes, which was kind of scary, but everybody is okay. Sparks were flying out of the cars. I don't know from what. And it was just really interesting because they're also talking about the temperature of the tires because they were driving at such a late time and it was cold in Vegas. And there's just so much science behind this that it's kind of insane. And I was thinking they only use one tank of gas the entire race. And so qualifying, their car was a little bit heavier. Or no, the car was a little bit lighter in qualifying than it was during the actual race. So I feel like that can kind of throw the driver off as well. But shout out to Formula One. It was super fun. Red Bull, I think it's no surprise. I mean, it was a surprise to me because I'm new to F1, but it was Red Bull, Ferrari, Red Bull. Red Bull's cars, I've heard, are just insane, and what they put into their cars and how they make them. So it's not a surprise that they've been winning all these races. I did see some posts from some of the drivers themselves that how it wasn't their best Formula One, or just the whole experience of the location, the fans, and XYZ. But I mean, it's Vegas. It's America. They like to party. They like to have fun. But definitely, if you've never checked out a Formula One race, I highly recommend it. And it's definitely a sport that I'm going to be looking more into. All right. Let's get into Week 11 football, shall we? Dee Dee's ready once again. I'm loving my co-host. She's always down. She had a bath today, so that's why she's not wearing her collar. Seahawks versus the Rams in LA. So to continue my weekend, I left Vegas at 9 a.m. and then landed in LA just right before 11 and drove straight to the Rams game. First of all, SoFi Stadium, insane. Literally, I don't know. It was just breathtaking. First of all, it's beautiful. The whole indoor-outdoor stadium vibe was super nice. The ceiling is clear. And we literally saw an airplane flying over just like that. Flying over the stadium. And it was crazy. It was crazy. But it was beautiful. Like, you walk in, there's palm trees lined up on the stairwell. So it was really fun. Yes. The game was intense. The game, again, my heart rate was through the roof the entire time. My blood pressure was through the roof the entire time. Let's break it down. The game started out great. Gino was connecting with all of his running backs, his receivers. We were making plays the whole first half. Our defense was making plays the whole first half, right? They were stopping. We had a really huge 4th and goal stop. I think by the end of the first half, at one point we were up 13-0. We were doing a really damn good job that first half. Second half, I wish I could say the same. KJ did mention, though, that we gave the game up. We gave the game to the Rams. I mean, a team that we should have beat, we gave it up. I know their defense was just lighting it up on us. Their defense was stopping us. I think the one thing that killed us a lot was the penalties. Penalties killed us. Jamal Adams was on the sideline rooting on his team. All right, Dee Dee. All right, there was one play that I think kind of switched gears for us, or kind of just, there was just like a big shift. Gino got rocked. The ball went flying straight up in the air like if it was a foul ball. And that was a really scary moment because obviously an interception could have happened, but I forget who batted the ball down. Gino got rocked. He was not getting up, and we're like, holy shit, like, what is happening? He gets pulled out of the game. Locke starts to warm up and like get some snaps in, like as much fast as he can, but I'm like, he's not warmed up at all, or probably not mentally prepared to go into this game. Goes into the game. We're all freaking out. So nervous. I start sweating. And, oh gosh, I don't know. I feel like there's a difference when we had Russell and then Gino would go into the game. Yes, it was nerve-wracking, but Gino had experience. Gino, I don't know. I think we had a little bit more confidence in Gino as a backup than we do with Locke as a backup. That turn of events really hurt us during the second half. Our defense was still making plays. Quickly after that, Stafford got hit really hard too. and then we got an interception. But the thing is, we always make really good defensive plays. We always create those turnovers, but nothing really comes from that turnover after that. Yeah, because Drew Lock just really didn't do anything after that turnover. He had an interception, and then with that, the Rams had the ball for 5 minutes, scored a field goal, and then we had a minute 40 something left. And then Geno came back in, Geno loves the 2-minute drill. So I was really excited he came back in. We were charging on the field, DK, Lockett, all of our boys were making plays. But Myers, love Myers. Myers has been super clutch. In our last episode, I mentioned that he scored 5 field goals. And it's funny that we're talking about Myers because I went around with my mini mic at the stadium and I was asking fans, how many touchdowns do you think Geno will score? One of them said, our highest scoring player is going to be Myers. Because he has, honestly, when you think about it too, he has been our highest scoring player the last, how many games? Let's break down Myers' field goals for this game. His first attempt was 54 yards. And before this, he was 1 for 4 on field goals over 50 yards. So at this point, he's 2 for 5. His second field goal, 43 yards. His third field goal, 52 yards. Okay, so right now he's already 3 for 3 on field goals. He has scored 9 points, 9 of our 16 points at this point, right? All right, so we charged on the field. Geno gets us down, whatever. But the thing is, I feel like they were taking forever to kind of set the ball or just to get set in the line because we needed 5 more yards. We seriously needed 5 more yards. So then we go for the 55-yarder. 55-yard field goal. I remember back in the day, 45 was a lot, right? But now 55-yarder. And I think that's just too much pressure to put on our kicker. Yes, field goals win games. Yes, I understand that. But at this point, he's already gone 3 for 3 and 2 of them were over 50 yards. Yeah, and then he missed it and that was game. And so I don't know what happened to that kick too. It looked a little flat. I don't know if it got deflected. I just don't know. It just, as soon as he kicked it, you can just tell it wasn't going to make it. And that's just heartbreaking, we should have won the game. We're a way better team than the Rams. We just didn't finish. I think that's been a constant for this team is we don't know how to finish. We don't know how to play all 4 quarters. And I don't know what it is. All right, let's go over numbers. If you look at numbers side by side of the Seahawks and the Rams, our numbers are slightly better than theirs. I feel like if you were to look at numbers and not knew the score, you could tell that we should have won. And we should have won. We just didn't finish the game. Let's go over numbers really quickly. Geno was 22 for 34, had 233 yards with 1 touchdown. Charbonnet had a great game, 15 carries for 47 yards. DK had 5 receptions. 94 yards and 1 touchdown. He should have had 2. Sorry, DK, we're going to beef a little bit. But there was 1 pass in the end zone that I felt like he was jogging. Okay, I know I'm not a football player, and I know I'll probably get a lot of hate for this, but his elbows were bent too. I feel like he could have at least extended them and maybe at least tried to dive. I know DK is not the diving type of person. We just need to look like we want to win, right? We need to get a little dirty. We need to dive a little bit more. I don't know if his ribs were a little bit hurting still, but I feel DK, I really truly feel like you should have had 2 touchdowns. All right, moving on. Beef done. Some of our team stats. We had a total of 291 yards. 233 were passing yards, which was great. 68 were rushing yards. We had 16 first downs, which is it could have been more. We were 2 for 2 for a 4th down efficiency, which is great. We had 1 interception. Our time of possession was slightly higher than the Rams at 32 minutes. The thing that killed us the most was our penalties. Yes, a lot of these penalties I feel like were bad calls, lots of PIs, which really screwed us over at the end of the game. But we had 12 penalties, which costed us 130 yards. Oof, which is insane. I played basketball and turnovers were never a good thing. And this is similar, right? We never want to give up these penalties. 130 yards, that's insane. And yes, a lot of these calls were bullshit. I'm just going to say it. They were trash calls. I mean, I don't know. It's like, I feel like it's hard too because rules have changed. You can't guard people as much as you wish you could guard them. I don't know. It's just a lot. But anyways, yeah, it was just a rough game. And as I was watching the highlights, I was getting very emotional. Being there in the moment too is rough. You have a lot of fans talking shit. Actually, the Rams fans aren't as bad, I have to say. The worst fans are the Niners fans, and I live here, so no offense. Side eye from Jonathan over here. Oh gosh, yeah, this was a tough game to watch, and being there in person was even harder. But we just need to figure out how to score. We need to score touchdowns. We got it. Because going into week 12, Thanksgiving Day, we have the Niners. But thankfully it's in Seattle. I know we have a reputation of playing way better at Lumen, at home, with the 12s. So it'll be a lot better. And I think coming off of this loss, which is funny, I had a conversation with my friend Clarence, and he's a huge Niners fan / one of my really good friends out here. And when I started Higa's Playbook, I sent it to him, and he was like, okay, I'm really happy for you, but I can only watch 2 minutes because, it's the Seahawks and I can't watch it, which I totally get. But he mentioned to me, he told me, he said that I almost wish you guys would have won because you guys are coming off this loss wanting to win, and now you guys are going to play us. So I know it's always going to be a close game against the Niners, which I'm still hoping it will be. I did see that Pete said that Geno should come back on Thursday, so I'm hoping whatever happened to his elbow, it's feeling okay. I was just having like a Patrick Mahomes moment though, when Patrick like sprained his ankle 10 million times, and I get it. It was a Super Bowl game or championship game or whatever it was, but come on, Geno. We need you. We need you, Geno. We need you. So yeah, week 12 this week, Niners, Thanksgiving Day. It's going to be a good game. It's National Frenemies Day for me and a lot of my friends, so go Hawks. We need to play all 4 quarters, not 3.25 quarters. We need to play all 4 so we can pull off this win. The Niners are going to be tough. They're going to come out swinging. Brock Purdy's been freaking tearing it up. I saw that his completion rate yesterday was like 83%, which is insane. So not going to lie, I'm a little bit scared, but I have faith in my team. Outfit of the week. So week 11's outfit of the week. I was scrolling through the Seahawks Instagram again, and there was a couple of y'all that were up for contention for this prize. But the one outfit that stood out the most to me was Draymond Jones's blue suit with the white pinstripes. Okay. You know, I love a good matching suit. You know, I love it when y'all dress up a little bit more. You know, I love all the designer stuff. Shout out to Bobby. I saw that Louis Vuitton jacket. It was super cute. But Mr. Jones in your suit. I loved it. Shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out. Also, I'll give an honorable mention to Jaron Reed. I really liked the crop button up with like the long sleeves and the olive pants. I don't know. There's something about that outfit that I just really, really liked. Some games that happened this week. I don't know. The Broncos have been having so many primetime games, and they played Sunday night and they won. So Russ and the Broncos are on a 4-game winning streak, which wild. I think that's the only word I can describe it right now, is just wild. I don't think there's any other games that stood out to me. The Bengals lost Joe Burrow, so I was like, the Bengals are looking so good this season, but sorry, Joe. Joe Burrow's out for the season. A lot of injuries have been happening, so I just, going into week 12, I just want people to stay healthy. I think this is where we start to see a lot of injuries. Take care of your bodies, please, please, please. And yeah. Also, shout out to my friends at Top Caliber, my homie Paul, for sending me this t-shirt. Check out Top Caliber clothing. This t-shirt's actually really nice. It's like super thick. I wanted an extra large, but he just sent me a large because he said it was going to be too big. And I kind of glad he sent me a large because this is very large. Anyways, I'm definitely catching up on sleep this week. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Go Hawks, and I'll catch y'all later. Love ya. Bye.